Welcome back to Ravens Today. I'm your host, Connor Gioffreda, giving you all the latest updates on anything and all things Ravens. Please make sure to keep hitting that subscribe button and like the video. Let's dive into the latest I have for you. So, going back to Lamar Jackson when he was on the Kevin Hart show, Cold Balls, he made a confession that he is not a perfect player, that he does have a flaw. And he had said that it's just being a leader. That's what he wants to be more of this season, is that he wants to be more vocal to his teammates, more so than he has been in the past, where he takes more of a leadership position, more of a veteran leadership position on the Ravens. Now, mind you, he is the quarterback. He is a leader by position. He's calling the shots in the huddles, and he's calling the audibles whenever they're needed. But it's being more vocal, whether it's in practice, whether it's on the sideline, and it's to the whether it's to the coaches. So this is great to hear from Lamar, that he just wants to be able to be there in the middle, hyping his guys up, telling them what they need to be heard, and telling the coaches what he believes is the best way to move forward to win that Super Bowl that he so desperately wants. I know that we've talked in the past about what else he had talked about with Kevin Hart, but again, just mentioning and going back into this, it just shows the humility that he has, and that he just wants to be that vocal leader that his teammates can go to and can listen to, and be that guy on the Ravens that everyone, not just the offense, but everyone can rely on, including the coaches, and everyone can listen, and he can lead this team to the Super Bowl. Moving on, about that Steelers trade, because it's the talk of the town pretty much. Ravens fans have this opportunity to poke fun a little bit. Mind you, they have Jalen Ramsey, who's going to turn 31 later this year. They picked up Jonnu Smith and a 7th round pick from the Dolphins in a trade package. And Steelers fans are like, yes, look at our defense. Mind you, the Steelers have done nothing with TJ Watt's contract. Nothing. Allegedly, there have been no talks about this, and TJ Watt skipped out on OTAs because of said contract. Mind you, TJ Watt is the heart and soul, and I hate to say this, the heart and soul of the Steelers defense. And the fact that they aren't working towards a contract with their best defensive player, and then focused more on this trade between, Minkah Fitzpatrick, Jalen Ramsey, Jonnu Smith, 7th round pick for the Dolphins, just it brings up an opportunity for any Ravens fan to poke fun at this, because you can't, you're willing to bolster your defense with veteran players, but you're not even going to, talk with your best defensive, possibly your best player, about his contract situation and trying to fix that. Just a way to poke fun at the Steelers as a Ravens fan, because TJ Watt's given us hell since he first came into the league. So the fact that there is a possibility that there won't be any contract, imagine TJ Watt going to the Ravens, jumping ship to a rival team, to the rival team that every Steelers fan hates, and TJ Watt putting on the purple. I mean, I don't know. I don't even think this is possible, but we're just speculating here. That he just says, you know what? I'm going to go to a team that appreciates me, goes to the rival team, is released by the Steelers, picked up by the Ravens, or because, anything can happen. This will never happen, but bear with me. Steelers trade TJ Watt to the Ravens. How that would be a bombshell thing to happen. Obviously, there's little to no way that it's going to happen, just simply because you never trade within your division like that. But just think about it. Imagine one of the better pass rushers in the league going to the Ravens from the team that absolutely hates them. But again, this is all speculation, and this could all be a rumor of some sort. But again, Steelers, TJ Watt are not happy, and there's apparently no communication whatsoever, and it's just a valid reason to poke fun at the fact that they just, instead of, you know, trying to fix that relationship, they go off and add more players to their own team. So moving on to another bold prediction here, Jair Alexander could be comeback player of the year simply because he's going up against the likes of, you know, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. I'll throw DK Metcalf's name in there twice a year. Imagine if he is able to get back to the form he was in 2022 before all of these injuries started happening, before, you know, the Packers, I'm saying this lightly, the Packers kind of screwed him over a little bit with the way they handled his injuries. And Jair Alexander is somehow able to get back to the form he was in 2022. He is a viable candidate for comeback player of the year, if that's the case. Again, this is a way too early prediction. We still have to go through the games, go through the motions, see how he does as the season goes on. But again, not far off for a prediction here where he's able to, you know, play lights out and earn a contract he deserves. Again, it might not be from the Ravens, but it's going to be like, you know, a payday for him. And he wins one of the NFL honors with comeback player of the year. It wouldn't be the first time that, you know, a Raven has won comeback player of the year. And I'm throwing Joe Flacco's name in there. Joe Flacco is a Raven, even if he won the comeback player of the year award with the Browns. But Joe Flacco will and always be a Raven. But again, but back to Alexander. Alexander, bold prediction here, wins comeback player of the year. Not defensive player of the year. That will go to Kyle Hamilton. Comeback player of the year. Moving on to the last part here. Bo Braid and Sanusi Kane were talking with the media about that third safety spot position. Kane, who has had special teams experience, talked with Ardarius Washington because Ardarius Washington was going to be that third safety, and unfortunately with the Achilles injury he suffered, he will probably be sidelined for the rest of the season. So, but I had originally thought in previous videos that, you know, he will be able to come back in December. It looks like that's not going to happen. So anyway, Braid is a Maryland born and bred man, and he just wants to win a Super Bowl with his hometown team. Imagine that. He makes the 50-man roster, and he's playing for the team that he grew up with and wins a Super Bowl with it. That would be Cinderella story right there. While Kane and Ardarius Washington are good friends, and Kane and Washington had talked during the OTAs, and Kane had mentioned that Washington told him just lock in. This is his moment to be able to make that roster as the third safety and be able to, you know, help will this team to a Super Bowl run. But so something to watch here as we get closer to training camp. Thank you for tuning into Ravens today. I'm your host, Connor Gioffreda. Again, please make sure to keep subscribing to the channel, like the videos. I will catch you all later. Have a good one.